Ever since the Grand Theft Auto series really took off during the PS2 generation, studios from around the world have been trying to capture that magic for themselves. Playing in a big, realistic, open world where you can commit whatever crimes you want and get into police chases and steal whatever car, boat, or plane you can get your hands on, all with no real consequences. You can set up your own crazy action sequences just like a movie. It's such a simple, obvious concept, but it sounds so enticing in a way almost anyone can get into, even if they've never touched a video game before. And thus the term GTA clone was born. If I described a game as a GTA clone, you'd know exactly what I meant. Open world, car chasing, cop shooting, car stealing, sandbox action. The very first 3D Grand Theft Auto game came out 24 years ago, and since then, so many GTA clones have come out. And as more and more of them released, we slowly stopped calling them GTA clones, since they started drawing inspiration from all over the place, not just Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto. But when the term GTA clone is used, it's often with a negative connotation. No one makes Rockstar games like Rockstar games, so a GTA clone is often a lower quality alternative. There's only one game I've played that does everything GTA does just as well, if not even better. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that I don't need to tell you what happened with this game. We all know what happened with this game. It came out, it was literally the worst thing ever. It was so bad that PlayStation and Xbox had to temporarily remove it from their stores. Since that initial launch disaster all the way back in 2020, CD Projekt Red has updated this game again and again to fulfill all those initial promises they made. And now the game it's awesome. It's amazing. It's such a good game. The first time I played Cyberpunk 2077 was sometime back in late 2022 on my severely outdated PC. I had to turn every possible setting down to the lowest option, and the game still barely ran at 20 FPS at 720p. It's not great. Despite that, I played this game for at least 50 hours back then. I mean, I did every single thing this game had available, except meeting Hanako at Embers, all on a PC that could barely handle it, which I think is a testament to how good this game is. It held my attention for so long, despite the less than ideal conditions I played them in. So you just know that when I upgraded my PC earlier this year, the game I was most excited to dive back into to replay from scratch was Cyberpunk 2077, with all the DLC and latest updates. And man, if you told me that you think this game is better than any GTA game, I would not even argue with you, and that's coming from a Rockstar fanboy. This game is next to perfect. Where the hell do I even start? Wake the fuck up, samurai. Yeah, whatever, the story. Just the premises alone for this plot is really interesting on its own. Where this game's story really shines is in its characters, the actors' performances, and the animators that tie it all together so perfectly. The characters in Cyberpunk really feel like real people, which is just crazy because the world in which they exist is so exaggerated and satirical, and yet they feel so believable, at least for the setting that they're in. Their backgrounds, the way they talk to you, their motives, their lingo, all carried by their voice actors. Except there was one side quest with a character who had like distractingly mediocre voice acting. Like, it was probably fine by most game standards, but because everyone else around them was so good, it kind of stood out. I wanted to research if this was a common opinion people had about this character, and apparently she's voiced by Grimes, which is so funny. Like, that explains everything. Sorry, Grimes. So, aside from Lizzie Wizzy, all the characters in this game are so well acted and realized that you really have strong feelings towards them, whether good or bad. Johnny Silverhand especially. You go through a roller coaster of loving him and hating him throughout the game. Just the fact that I feel something towards these characters is an achievement on its own. There are so many games that I love that just have flat characters that I can hardly give a damn about. You know, after watching the cinematic CG trailers for this game, it kind of makes me wish there were more traditionally animated cutscenes instead of everything taking place in first person. But of course I understand that if you want to maintain quality acting and animations with a custom character, this was the best way to do it. Besides, experiencing everything in this game, from the most mundane to the most critical moments, from the same set of eyes, does really add to the immersion of the game. It makes it feel cohesive. Immersion is just one of those buzzwords people throw around when describing video games. Cyberpunk's Night City feels immersive because it feels so real. Everything just thematically clicks with one another. This game nails the cyberpunk aesthetic to a T. From literal mountains of consumerist waste, to the luxurious corpo plazas, to the low-income mega apartment buildings that most people find themselves living in. Every single thing in this world, top to bottom, looks the part. Why do trees have random electrical boxes and wires attached to them? Because it's the future, man. This is what it's gonna look like. This is just one of those rare games where I often choose to travel on foot, so I can slow down to soak in all the details and to see how those details change from district to district. I feel immersed because Night City feels believable. I really feel like I'm there, for better or for worse. Night City high-key hates you, and everyone wants to kill you, and everyone is violent and horrible and murderous. Yes, I am a major contributor to that, but like in a cool main character way. Not in like an evil gang way, like in a cool way. The combat in this game will look completely different from player to player. There are so many factors that can dramatically change your style of combat. There are a ridiculous amount of guns, from basic pistols to assault rifles with heat-seeking bullets. And there is just a huge amount of melee weapons, from a baseball bat to a katana, all of which are so satisfying to use. Where Cyberpunk 2077 gets really interesting is in the cyberware that you choose. Your gonk-ass V is gonna have to chip some Supreme Chrome if you're gonna survive a day in Night City. You either chip Chrome or go home. Cyberware is what sets the combat in Cyberpunk 2077 apart from other games. There are so many options and combinations. You can install legs that run faster, jump higher, or absorb bigger falls. You can install huge blades to your arms, a deadly wire, a built-in cannon, or just really strong knuckles. There is a whole list of augmentations that range from camouflage skin to a reinforced skeleton to eyeballs that can see dudes through walls. Where it really gets interesting is the operating system that you choose. Linux is the future, dude. The least popular options are the Chrome suppressor, which basically just increases your tolerance for cyberware, and the Berserk, which turns you into GTA 5's Trevor if he was a steel gorilla. The two most popular operating systems are the Cyberdeck and the Sandevistan. The Sandevistan is like, you remember that Quicksilver scene from X-Men Apocalypse? It's basically just that. Really badass bullet time slow-mo super speed. You can pull off some crazy stuff. It is a real power fantasy. Even just on paper, the Sandevistan sounds the coolest, and mechanically it definitely is. It was the fan favorite already, and on top of that, the main character in the Cyberpunk anime uses a Sandevistan, so it is crazy popular. This is probably most people's favorite. But in my humble opinion, it is a tiny bit overrated. I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm definitely not saying it isn't cool. It is like one of the most unique things in this game. It's cool as fuck. But it is just so popular that it kind of overshadows the Cyberdeck a little bit. The Cyberdeck, simply put, is everything and anything hacking related. There is just so much you can do with hacking in this game. It is by far the most complicated combat system of them all. In my current playthrough, I often go for stealth, and the Cyberdeck makes that so much more interesting. You can upload a wide range of quick hacks onto your enemies that range from just blinding them temporarily to making them off themselves. Hacking your enemies directly is just the tip of the iceberg. You can set off explosives, control turrets, use random objects as distractions to help you when stealthing around. Coolest of all though, has to be hacking security cameras. Getting access to the camera network in an area is great for recon, obviously, but it also allows you to hack your enemies and objects remotely. You can quietly take out a whole base of guys without ever setting foot inside. The Sandevistan is sick as hell in a real visceral way. The Cyberdeck is sick as hell in a slower, more methodical way. Just don't overlook the cyberdeck, guys. So, Cyberpunk 2077 has a banging story with banging characters and banging performances from their voice actors. Cyberpunk has a banging world with banging theming, design, and world building. Cyberpunk has banging, varied combat with so many different possible worlds. Dude, this game is just great. Like, it's up there with Red Dead Redemption 2 as one of the best open world games I've played. And you guys know how much I love Red Dead 2, that's really saying something. The dystopia of Night City is like a car crash that I cannot look away from. It's just so crazy to compare this game as it is right now to the state that it was in when it initially came out. I mean, they really did fix and add everything they promised and then some, even down to the most mundane details and features. I mean, they added a functional metro system that you can ride just because they showed it off in the trailer and people kind of wanted it for immersion's sake. Like, that's so unnecessary, but they added everything. And also, I kind of feel like the fact this game released in such a sorry state made it cheaper. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 is generally cheaper than any other game even close to its scale. But then when it goes on special, the whole package, including the DLC, is even cheaper than the game costs normally. Like, Cyberpunk 2077 is an amazing game and it's enormous. You can spend hours and hours on it, and it costs just as much as some indie games when it goes on sale. Anyway, the excuses are up. You've got to try this game. Cyberpunk 2077 is just that good. I strongly recommend it. I just wouldn't recommend buying the PS4 version though. I don't think that one works too good. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys as always. Thanks. Thanks. You like my jacket. I haven't worn this jacket. This is the first video I ever recorded in this chair. I was wearing this jacket and probably this shirt as well. That's a throwback. That's a throwback for you guys. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for watching.
This is where the corpos sleep that work at Arasaka Tower, cyberpunkers. We're going in there at midnight. Grab your iron.
You need to get on the phone and call me.
¡Que te va a caer, te va a lesionar, carajo!